Gotta have some of that Tim Hortons, you know what I mean? What's up, guys? DJ Bone here. Welcome back to another Studio Time series. I believe this is part 4. And today we are going to be mastering Don't Change Anything. So all I did so far was just load up a blank project and grabbed in one single audio track and brought in the track itself. And then I set up a loop to be played in, I'm going to say in the drop section. And let's go ahead and do some stuff. All right, I'm going to be lazy today for mastering this one, just because this one isn't really my favorite. It doesn't grab me, you know. It's just like a burner track. All right, so with that being said, we're just going to break out Ozone and just have everything done inside of that. That sounds good to me for right now. All right. So I'm going to hit the Master Assistant, CD, and High Intensity, and Next. And press play. Alright, so this is what it did for it. Let's look at the EQ. Yeah, I must have had some weak areas across the spectrum. A little bit too much in the high end this time, so I decided to bring it down, and my mids to low mids were like, could use a little help. So that's what it decided there. Multi-band dynamics, didn't need it. Dynamic EQ, wow, it's actually dropping a lot there. We'll see how it sounds, but I think these ones here I'm just going to bring up a little bit. And the maximizer, what did it choose? A transient, IRC4, fast for the character, for the release, and 40% stereo independence, sure. And it decided to give us the transient emphasis, 50%. Well, not really percent, just 50, I guess we'll call it. Not bad. Threshold, -9 or -7.9, almost 8. Ceiling, the default, which it usually never really moves a lot. I usually just change that myself. All right, so let's listen to this little loop section of the drop. All right, I can tell by looking at the maximizer here that every time the snare goes, it's kind of compressing that to match the same level of what the waveform is doing. Because as you can see, for the most part, this wave is a nice, even across spectrum. We don't have a whole lot of peaks going on. That's kind of crazy. It's just it's a good mixed wave. And all this little stuff is our snares. And that's the part where the little stuff, I say, everything looks little here. Now, these little peaks here are our snare hits coming in. So that limiter, brick wall, whatever you want to call it, decided to compress those down to match the same size of the waveform. So with that being said, I really say that a lot. With that being said, count how many times in every episode I've done so far in Studio Time series and be like, Bone, you said, with that being said, 47 times in this episode, 72 in this episode. Come on. I'll try and cut back. All right. So I'm going to add in the exciter, because I love that guy, and concentrate on the lows. Low mids. Not bad. Now let's bring in the stereo imager.
Drop the world. Drop the world.
Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. The last episode of the Studio Time series for the track Don't Change Anything, I mentioned towards the end of the segment that I was like, I have a surprise that I feel like going back in and remastering it and whatnot. And the song was called Desolate. And I don't know if any of you caught on, or, if you're following the series, that I acted as if it was like, this is a surprise and I'll get to show you what this song is all about and stuff. But the thing is, it's already out there. The previous series for Studio Time, it's already out there. So I mean, like, if you guys were like, oh man, this is gonna be so cool, this guy's never showed this song before, but I was just seeing if any of you caught on. So yeah, if you guys want to check out the work done in the track Desolate, just check out the series for Studio Time and you'll be able to see that. So yeah, I just wanted to mess around with you guys. All right, so back on this, I feel pretty comfortable. It's a safe master. I am pushing the boundaries just a little bit on this track, but nothing too crazy, especially in the exciter. This was the sub and the low mids, those were safe. I kind of brought up the mid-highs a little bit for saturation, but not to the point to where it's distorting, so we were good there. I didn't step over the boundaries or whatever you want to call it for that. So overall, this mastered track is pretty good. I wouldn't mind a little bit more spread. Nah. Actually, no, it's good. I think the overall compression and everything is all right. So I mean, like, if you take a look here,
Drop the world.
It's pretty good. I'm not squashing the heck out of it, and so then that way it kind of still gives it a little bit more life to it. I mean, sure, we're trying to make our track, everyone when they're mastering is trying to make their track as loud as possible, but I'm not like really crushing this tune to make it sound horrible. This is like a nice safe setting that I chose. Bypassing the mastering here, I'll give you an A and B of what it sounds like with it on, and then of course without nothing, and see what you think.
Drop the world.
Not bad, right? All right, so I'm gonna say this track is done. Let me do my last little things here. I'm gonna render this down, throw it up on the SoundCloud for you guys to download and enjoy. And thanks for following for this Studio Time series for Don't Change Anything. There will be more to come. And before I actually put it up on SoundCloud, I'm actually going to listen to this just a few more times on the actual sound system and not just the headphones, because I kind of want different sound sources to see what it sounds like on different sound sources. You know what I mean? But yeah, so just pay attention to SoundCloud and watch out for this track. Don't change anything, but until then,